What is going on, everyone? It is Tyler McKinney back here again. And listen, if AEW is going to continue to give, I'm going to continue to take it all in. Let's just say that this was another great episode of AEW Dynamite. And listen, I appreciate every one of you guys out there who are watching, who are commenting, who are getting into the conversation. Because listen, this is fun. This is exciting. This is what professional wrestling is supposed to be about. Each and every week, I feel like we're getting more from AEW. They keep taking the bar and rising it and rising it and rising it. And listen, that's fun for us all as wrestling fans. And not just AEW fans, but WWE fans, NWA fans, Impact Wrestling fans, Ring of Honor fans, I don't know, MLW fans. Whatever it is you're into, listen, week in and week out on Wednesday nights, AEW keeps raising the bar, and they did it again. And listen, that just makes everybody else get their game in gear and get their act together and step up. And that's what they did tonight. So without further ado, listen, I'm not going to do a full review of everything here. What I'm going to do is give you the main takeaways that you need to know from this episode of Dynamite. First and foremost, I love the fact that we had a clean win for Kenny Omega. I thought that was fantastic. I loved it. I liked how that went down, and you can see this kind of madness that's there, and him and Don Callis. Listen, my hat's off to Don Callis. He is a fantastic heel. He does a great job, and he really truly is a really nice compliment to Kenny Omega. I mean, if the way that the two work together, it works really well. Whereas if you just had the one with somebody else, and it just you could see them coming off as just odd and really quirky in that, but the both of them together really makes things go really well. My hat's off to Sydal. Sydal did a fantastic job, but I love where they're going with Kenny Omega and Don Callis, and just keep it rolling with that. I'd love to see the belt collector collect up some more belts. Now, as we continue on with it, what you need to know is that AEW is building up Adam Hangman Page as a superstar, and you've seen this. He's been transforming over the past few months from this guy who is, kind of trying to find himself in all this, to where he's kind of found himself. And you can kind of see that transformation to where, with his ring attire, he's kind of changing up. He's kind of changed up his style with some of, his wrestling moves and things like that. If you noticed over the past year or so, he's really the buckshot lariat has really turned into his finisher. He's not doing I can't remember what it is, like the dead eye or something like that. He really is turning that into it, which I think is great. He is more and more looking like a superstar, and they need to just push him to the moon, which is what they're doing, and that's fantastic. And speaking of pushing people to the moon, right now, Britt Baker is literally on top. I told you last week, and I'm going to reiterate it again. She stole the show. There's no doubt about it. Listen, if she did not do what she did in that match with Thunder Rosa would... Thunder Rosa got the win. They both put their bodies on the line. But what Britt Baker did and how she went through that match and what she did in the match took that to another level. And yes, you need two people to tango. You need two people to wrestle. But she has become an instant star. And I love that she came out and she just poured it on. At first, when she started this whole kind of villain thing, it was really hard, sometimes cringy to watch her, but now she's really come into her own. She understands what works, what doesn't, and I love where she's coming with what she's saying, how she's delivering it. She cut a amazing promo, building off of everything that just happened in the past week. And I'm telling you, I know that they're doing, Sheeta with all of this other stuff that they did later on the show, but you need to just stop all that. send Britt Baker to the roof, give her the belt, and move on with it. Because for me right now, Britt Baker is it, and everybody else is just underneath there. And I will say on that note of the women's wrestling has gotten a lot better in AEW. And you can definitely tell that these women have really been putting in the time. They've really been doing a really nice job. And I thought it was great for Ty Conti. She got a great win. I was worried that they were going to let Nyla Rose win that match, but they let her win it cleanly, which thank you, AEW. Like I said, the women's division has really been upping its game. And, like I said, just put the belt on Britt Baker right now. She is the women's division right now. She's women's wrestling. If you ask me, I mean, that's where we are with everything with it. So loving what they got going on there. Christian Cage finally found out who he's going to be fighting, and it's going to be Frankie Kazarian. And listen, I think that this is good. I think that this is a good way for him to start off. Somebody, a familiar face from TNA. You get that you kind of get that old school TNA vibe. I think that that's good. I like that with it. I'll tell you, here's the thing with AEW. When I see, tag matches, 3-on-3 matches, when I see that stuff in AEW, it intrigues me because I get to see, what these athletes can do. When I see that in WWE, it just makes me want to turn the channel and not watch the match. Why? Because they don't give me anything extra. And I hate saying that, and I hate putting it that way. But listen, that's just where it's at for me. And, AEW, they deliver when it comes to that. If you haven't, you really need to sit down and give yourself an opportunity. If you have never gotten into tag team wrestling, AEW does it right. I really like the way that they do it. They understand tag team wrestling. They understand that it's tag team wrestling and that it's different than singles. And so a guy might not necessarily be a good singles wrestler or top of his game on singles, but he's a good tag team wrestler. And they allow that to shine. They allow it to show. Whereas you don't get that in other promotions. Sometimes WWE is a perfect example of it. It's a tag team. You can throw anybody in there and make it work. Whereas with AEW, they do things precisely. They do things in, a way that I think, it just makes it interesting for me. And look, we got to see the Pinnacle out there for the first time. The guys look good together. They are all on the same page. And they're stepping up this whole faction thing to a new level. And it really does, like what MJF said, it really does make the Inner Circle almost look like a gimmick, as opposed to, they're out there to hurt. And, they're not out there just, all willy-nilly having fun, being kind of the cool bad guys. They're actually out there, going to rip your head off type of a thing. And I thought that was good with that. The Pinnacle, I think that we're going to see where this goes with it. I'm really curious to see how they build them up with it. It'll be really interesting to me with that. Now, the last thing here that I really want to talk about, we had the Nightmare Family thing. I think that this is it's turned into an interesting little storyline with QT Marshall. We'll see where it goes with it. I don't think we're done with it yet. Right now, it's probably one of my least intriguing things that I have with the show right now. But, yeah, whatever. It's not necessarily boring, so it's not one of my favorite things right now. Laredo Kid, give me more of him. I thought he did a fantastic job. I'm ready to see, though, Ray Phoenix and Pac back in the ring again together. Those guys they're just phenomenal together with it. But all of these guys are really talented, and I love the way that they used this match to really continue the storyline with what's going on with the whole former Elite Bullet Club, the whole 9 yards with it, and the whole Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley thing. I have absolutely no idea where they're going with this, and I'm okay with that. Listen, WWE, I'm sick and tired of every time before I go to a show, I know exactly what's going to happen on your show because Dave Meltzer's already put it out there. It's already been leaked out. We already know what the storyline's going to be. Any surprises, we know what's going to happen. I hate that. It drives me nuts. Why do I even need to watch the show afterwards? I don't know. Can't we just, keep it to ourselves for a little bit? Do we always have to give everything out? It drives me batty with it. I mean, I want to sit there. Who likes the guy that gives away the ending to a movie? Nobody likes that. Nobody likes that at all. And at least with AEW, I don't know where things are going. I don't know what the end game is with it. And I love it. I get to speculate. I get to sit there and enjoy it and enjoy the moment when it happens and not already kind of know what's going to happen. So I'm kind of, visualizing it in my head and it takes the fun away from it. Yes. Do they not always hit the beats? Yes. Does it fall flat? Yes. But just let it play out. And I love the way that this whole thing is playing out. I love that, Kenny actually got some flack this week and they got a hold of Kenny and it showed. I'm not ready for them to fall off the wagon yet, but I am ready to, kind of see, that they've got some flaws, that they're not unbeatable. And so I do like that. I look to see them coming back with a vengeance, and that'll be interesting to see what happens. But I love the way that they showcase talent in both of these. They were able to really showcase talent with 12 guys in 2 matches. How they do that, I don't know, but AEW does a fantastic job, and I'm along for the ride. I love it, and let's continue to go. And the last thing is that with it, we got a fantastic match between Darby Allin and John Silver. And listen, it's hard to dislike either one of them, and this match put both of them over. It really showed John Silver's ability, and I love the fact that we've got a guy like John Silver. Now, granted, again, I know I'm a short guy, and so getting another short guy an opportunity to really show his talent and his ability, because that guy is just a ridiculous athlete in John Silver. It really kind of, I really wanted him to win. I knew that going into the night he was not going to win, but I really wanted him to win, and I wanted Darby Allin to lose. I really like John Silver, and Darby Allin won, and, it's okay with me. He's an okay champ. He's, I'm just kind of over the whole Darby Allin thing. And, maybe we'll get with, Matt Hardy's people, his people coming out and coming after him. Maybe we'll get something, out of that, with that. So we'll see where it goes. Maybe a Matt Hardy TNT champion. I would be okay with that. And, kind of working around, something with that. And, the whole Bunny thing with her getting into the whole women's championship, kind of that whole thing and that tie up earlier in the night. AEW, nice job, guys. I was glued to the TV the whole time. Did not want to fast forward through anything. You had me hooked, and that's all you can ask for as a fan, is just to be hooked, to have an enjoyable night of wrestling, and that's what we're looking for. And so I'll dive into some more of these things and more of my thoughts. I definitely have some more stuff, and so I'll be bringing some more of that in some upcoming videos with it, but I just want to give you my initial thoughts and feelings on everything with AEW Dynamite. Again, it was a great week. The question, as always, is what do you think? I'd love to know what you think down in the comment section. So leave me some comments down there, and let's continue the conversation on. All right, guys, I know that you're busy. I know that I'm busy, so let's get on out of here. You have a good night. Bye.